Life is a better place if you choose to set the pace. I know that it comes with ups and downs. On a daily we have to fight, try to live and to survive. Another day to get the drive. At Spicy with Phina, we understand all your pain. You'll be fine, you'll be okay. You'll be fine, you'll be okay. You'll be fine, you'll be okay. Spicy with Phina.
The concept of side chick has become a growing norm in our society, taking various dimensions of weird escapades by young ladies and their sugar daddies. Our story today is a mouthful, one to scream about, as the lady involved now considers the option, which includes marrying her sugar daddy's son to remain within his reach. Yes, you heard me right. She's about to rock father and son the rest of her life. Stay tuned to hear the full story after this break. I'll be right back. It's Spicy with Phina.
At Spicy with Phina, we understand all your pain.
Banjoko Omotunde is an agricultural specialist who is passionate about transforming Africa's agriculture by providing assistance and advice to farmers and livestock producers with the goal of impacting communities and achieving sustainable growth. Tunde Banjoko is presently the MD of BO Farms Limited. He decided to close the gap in the food production and supply chain in Africa, employment generation, and generation of foreign exchange for the country, which led him into farming since 2012 till date. Fumi Banjoko is a lawyer, process improvement and change management expert with over 10 years experience of working in corporate Nigeria. She has served in various capacities, growing and developing fine leadership, administrative, process improvement, and change management skills. Fumi is the founder of Willa International, a children's clothing and lifestyle brand that provides quality, easily accessible, ready-to-wear contemporary Afrocentric items that are indigenously inspired.
At Spicy with Phina, we understand all your pain.
Welcome back to Spicy with Phina, and like I said earlier, we have a very interesting story that I'm about to read, but we have my guest here. You've already met them. Fumi, nice to have you.
Thank you.
You look good though.
Thank you.
I wouldn't lie, you look good.
Yeah,
Your husband is doing a great job. He's doing a great job.
I'll let you hear that.
Thank you so much for coming. Mr. Tunde, I am honored to have you. I am honored to have you. Thank you so much for coming. I have a story. I have to read it out so we can then start our conversation. I have been dating a married man for 7 years. He is my sugar daddy. He saw me through uni and I never lacked anything good. He has 3 children and his first son is 2 years older than me. And his wife is not aware. After uni, he opened a big restaurant for me in Lekki, Lagos, and made me financially independent. I told him I need to get married as I am 28 already. But he said he can't let me marry anyone else, that I am all his. But he gave me 3 options. 1, to marry him and become his second wife, or to become his baby mama, or to marry his first son. I told him I don't want to be his second wife or his baby mama, so I accepted to consider his son. But the problem now is that the man still requests for sex, and I fear it will continue even after I marry his son. How do I continue to sleep with father and son? Please, I need advice.
It's like, wow.
No, sometimes I see stories that are weird. I'm wondering, wow, it's really now wow, because crazy things are happening. Crazy things are happening. Yeah. You've had this girl for so many years. It's not time for her to have her life, and you're saying no. You're just lording over her. There's no freedom. But before we react to the story, I want to just ask.
Okay.
Why do married men, Mr. Tunde, what do you think makes married men keep side chick? Like why? Like why? Me, I need to understand.
Thank you, Phina, for having me.
Thank
there are
you.
several reasons.
Okay.
I'll just speak on 2-3 reasons
Okay.
so that I don't take the whole of the day to talk about it. And I think the first thing will be mindset and culture. And a lot of people, even before they get married at all, because our society does not say anything wrong in, okay, your wife is there, you are giving her everything you need, why should you be eating rice alone every day? Keep
add vegetable.
Keep
Lord.
that. So that mindset is there. And so even when there's no reason to cheat, the mindset is already conditioning you in that mind. And in that pattern. So meaning you get bored easily and all that. So that's one, I believe, is a mindset thing.
Okay.
And then the culture of, okay, a man can have as many, but a woman cannot. And when I looked at it, when I looked at it and I looked at the proportion, I realized about 20 to 40% of married men cheat.
Wow.
While 20 to 30% of women cheat. And yes, and I looked at it, even this cheating is in 2 ways. About 23% cheats emotionally. Meaning they just keep somebody dear to their heart, where they still keep communication close. And they enjoy the conversation. And things that probably they should tell their spouse. But I'll stay to the man now, since you're asking about the man, so I'll try and stay to the man.
Fine.
So, what they would have told their wife, but they enjoy this girl so much that when they are talking, they get advice. So emotional cheating, while about 21% will do the physical cheating. And then, looking at the numbers, they said about 56% even do the two combined. And like in every 100, 26% will always cheat. And so when you look at that, so the mindset, the condition that I'm not the only one is the in thing and all that. So association, maybe the people you also roll with can also influence that for you as a man. If, for example, where they are drinking, everybody's keeping a girl at the table.
Tomorrow you want to come and you don't want to look like the novice among them.
So they don't drink. Even people rarely drink during the day. So the woman has gone home. You are somewhere drinking by 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
It is early now.
8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. And you see the young chicks hanging around.
Always available.
Always
at that
available.
Time.
So that's why I said association. And I think another thing I will also look at is, when we also look at the conversation, the communication between a man and his wife can also make a man cheat. I'm trying to look at some of the reasons that I could come up with as a married man as well. And then, when you see a man who is used to doing some things this way, sexually, we are talking about cheating now, and now marries a woman who is not used to.
And she's not willing to even learn.
And she's not willing to learn because, religion comes into play. Somehow.
But it shouldn't, because you guys are married.
No. We've had several conversations where people cannot even remove their clothes before their spouse.
Are you serious?
Yeah, where they have to turn off the light.
Turn off the light.
Oh
my God! Turn off the light.
And then the woman is just coming, get out, I'll get pregnant. Wow. So when you look, and such a man, medically they say, okay, man should have sex 4 times a week minimum. That's what the doctor said. And here is a woman who, even the once in a week, the action, the emotion, the energy is not corresponding. So when that is also not there, it could lead to any slight change or exposure by the man to something different from what he's used to. And then they are unable to communicate that. So that's also one of the reasons that I think a man can keep side chick or somehow. And so when the communication, that or the association, you can open. But of course, I think one other quick thing I will drop at this point is also lack of contentment on the part of the men, because
Men don't admit that thing, I beg.
You know,
Men always say, no, it's the woman.
you
I
know,
mean,
no,
how
that's
would
why
a
I'm
woman
trying
be?
to balance
Exactly,
it.
men hardly admit
the
that
lack
thing.
of contentment on your part, because maybe you are used to fat girls, and you eventually marry a slim lady.
Or she was fat and she now lost weight.
Or let me burst the bubble. Some men will tell you I cannot marry a woman who does not have big breasts. Now you eventually end up with somebody with nothing.
So why would you even end up
Because
with
she was wearing something?
What were you looking at?
For some other reasons.
They
have
to choose. They have to set their priorities right.
So in that case now, that man is likely to cheat. And again, so maybe when you also now look at their development, you know, I'm talking about marriage generally.
Of course.
You now look at, okay, the man is exposed, this, that, and the woman is not catching up. And the guy, the kind of people the man is mixing up with, and all that. So you look at the dressing, the fashion, and your woman is still tying wrapper in 2022 and all that. So of course, what are some of the reasons?
Yeah,
so those are just general reasons.
I see where you're coming from. So for me, I want you to highlight some of the things you think women are not doing right. That could, as much as he has pointed a couple of them, from your own point of view, do you think that there are some things women are not doing right that is making their men keep side chicks? Or is it just the reasons he gave?
Well, to be honest, women also are not doing some things right. I think that there's also a trend now where a lot of families are living apart. Okay. And if you're not careful, that also begins to put a lot of pressure. Yes, a major constraint. And sometimes the men don't even want to necessarily be away from the wife. But the wife feels like, all my colleagues, everybody lives in Canada. There are 5 lives in Canada. I'm the only one that is in Nigeria. You to send us there. Then you put the man under the pressure, and the guy feels okay.
Go to Canada.
And he did not even have any intention of cheating. The plan was that, you will go, you'll be coming every 3 months, and then maybe COVID happened.
Yes.
And the guy was stuck here for 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. Or even the guy is coming every 3 months, but then the guy is more exposed. So I think that's one reason why sometimes, something that some women do, and I'm not saying that this is what happens in every case for every family that relocates and all that. I think another thing is also that sometimes women also don't want to be open, either because of past experiences or because of exposure or because you just feel like, and sometimes religion, like he said, you just feel like, I don't want to appear as a loose girl. I don't want to, so you feel like, well, come on, this is your husband.
That's the options presented to this lady.
Okay.
Like,
the option therapy.
that she should either marry the man as a second wife, or marry the son, or be a baby mama. I want you to comment on the options and why you think what you think about the options.
Oh, okay. For me, I think the third option is a no-no for me.
What is the third option?
Marrying the father and the son.
Yeah.
Even, morally speaking, going to religion, I'm not sure anybody will endorse that.
No, she's meant to marry only the son.
No,
but something will be happening.
There's a clause.
Okay, that's how you paid it already.
Like you said, the father wants him to be close.
Yeah.
And even though
apparently marriage have happened like that.
Even in our mind, there's no way you are sleeping with the son. The day the father calls you emotionally, and even if the guy gets to know.
That's another begin.
So the day the guy gets to know, I'm sure, I don't know what the guy might do to her. The guy might shoot her even if he has a gun. So
we will continue on those options.
Okay.
We have to go on a quick break now, and when we come back, we continue with the conversation. I'll be right back.
At Spicy with Phina, we understand all your pain.
Welcome back to Spicy with Phina, and we've been having a very interesting discussion as regards to a sugar daddy that has refused to let go of this lady, who is his side chicken. So let's look at the part of the options. You were saying something before we went to a quick break. I also want you to also talk about the downsides and all that.
So we talked about not doing the father and son together.
Okay, so that's a no-no.
That's a no-no.
Okay.
The second one second wife, is while I might not approve second wife, but people might probably still forgive you for being a second wife. And then because I don't know what kind of religion they practice or their belief, some religion approves of a second wife. So then the third option, please help me.
The third option is to become a baby mama.
Become a baby mama.
Now what did she do already now?
She's already a baby mama.
She doesn't have a child for him yet.
No, she's already a baby mama because I want to believe dating somebody for 7 years.
7 years.
You might have aborted
That's
before.
a lot.
And if you have not even aborted, you are more or less a baby mama. So that's just not probably legal because they're still doing more of the side chick. So, of course, so the only option I can probably, if she has to, like I'm being asked to.
It's the first, which is.
But I'm asking myself, like, why put yourself in a box as a woman? He's giving you 3 options. Do you have to stay in those 3? In the 3 options. What happens to what you want as well? Exactly. And sometimes, I'm just thinking about the woman. I'm like, okay, so from what you said, he set her up. She already has her restaurant and everything. So let me say they struggle financially again now. Do you understand? Like, can't you like also get a life for yourself? Because you really want to be. See, there are issues. Even if you want to be second wife, do you want to fight battles all your life? We hear stories and stories of our fathers in those days where they had second wives, and then the children, you will battle all your life. Like, why go through that when you literally can have a different life? Do you understand what I mean? Because money may not necessarily be what you're after anymore. Yeah.
But I think she should.
But most times, even though she's been set up by the man, they don't really give them that freedom to own most of those property.
You think so?
Yeah, so most of them are still dependent on
him somehow.
You might find out that all the property, the business is still in the man's name, or because of the health. I own this girl, I own her property. If the day she says no, I'm sure they might kick her out of the house, kick her out of
but she should have to be kicked out now. She wants her freedom.
No, but aside from that,
is she willing to, and you gave her an option that's lucky, I assume the guy has bought her a nice car. Exactly. So, walking away from all those things, is she willing? Because most of them, I realize, their minds are not developed to produce wealth.
Wow.
They've only been trained to spend. Receive the money from the man, spend it. Because
she might not be resourceful.
Most of them don't save.
Exactly.
But
I was even going to say that.
You know why?
You have saved money to look for a way to run away from this place.
I see your point, but that may not necessarily be the case in every situation. Because I feel like if you have handled money, right, there's a part of you that you can reproduce. Well, may the guy carry everything they go.
No.
Do you understand? You can reproduce.
You've
gotten contacts, from the business. You've met people. People is what generates money at the end of the day. So it doesn't have to be him.
No.
You can
you
always
are missing out something.
You can reproduce your wealth.
Where you are missing out is if I have produced the wealth, and I lose it for one reason or the other, I can reproduce it
again.
But if I was handed over something and my mind has not been developed,
true.
I will lose it. What those people have at times is they go to functions with the man. They don't have anything in their mind. That's why you see somebody, let's even leave this lady outside of it. You see somebody from a wealthy home, a son of a wealthy man or a daughter of a wealthy man. I've seen one before. The father gave them 100 million and in less than 6 months it was gone. They gave them an office at Ilupeju. 100 million was gone in 6 months because the man gave them the money. And after a while, because the man gets contracts from the government, he had issues with the government. He couldn't even raise $1 million, the man himself. So the issue of raising the children was not even there. So what happened in such situation? So the man cannot even raise it. But when he had the money, he gave you 100 million. I'm talking of true life story. Because the man has been the one working, making all the connection, everything. The children couldn't do it.
But another thing you also have to consider is that she's a graduate.
Yeah.
I want to believe that at least going to school, you probably can get a job. Yeah. Because the question is, do you want a better life for yourself? Exactly. Do you really want to put yourself in the box of those 3? Because you remain his puppet forever, as it were.
I think going to that point, it takes me back to what he said. Some of these people, They are just conditioned to spend. They don't know how to reproduce.
But so it's the life you want that would drive you.
That's why she's even stuck. That's why she's stuck. Because if she can reproduce, she will not be stuck. She will let me know for money. I can save money and go and start my life elsewhere.
Something now about can she go get a job? Get a job that will pay her how much?
And start from somewhere.
Based on the money she has been saving.
Because
she won't want to go less.
Somebody who comes from the university has been going for vacation every 3 months to wherever she wants.
You now can get a job with
somewhere. Work for 150,000.
She'll now go and get a job that will pay her 250,000. She has to wake up 5 a.m. Somebody who wakes up 9 a.m.
and has girls serving her shit.
And she has workers as well.
And I'm sure maybe she eats buffet. Some people eat buffet every day. Now somebody saying
she don't weigh the life, man.
So she would have, and she's been staying like this for years. Somebody who probably look at her nails, everything, driver, chef. You now ask her to go get a job with 250 and one manager shouting at her. She's not ready for that. She will rather look for how to stay in that league.
That's why she's even considering one of the options.
But I feel like whatever you really desire in life is what ultimately drives you. And I guess where you're coming from. Yeah. You're already at this level. You don't want to all of a sudden, fall down.
She assumes she's at this level. She's not
there. Exactly. That's another perspective.
But that's the truth.
If she's sincere that, because it's really, like you said, it's complicated, none of those options will give her peace.
None, Abi?
None. It's only likely to give her
respite for a while.
For a while.
Go still boss.
Because being a second wife is not every first wife who will get to know.
And you remember this woman, the wife now is not even aware. So you don't even know the kind of person she is.
Exactly. So, something will not happen. And you now fight battles. Even your children will be fighting their children. Like,
so you never can say what the first wife will even do.
Exactly.
Your life finds out.
And when you are acting in anger, people can be irrational.
Exactly.
So why do you want to stay in that atmosphere? Then how do you beg the man to say, oh God, leave me, do freedom for me, do graduation?
Let me do graduation.
Do
freedom for me.
Now freedom on a bondage.
You know, most of those men, they are really the only day you probably leave him is probably the day he dies. And you don't know when the man will die. You might say he will die at 75. What if he lives to 95?
To 95.
But are you now saying that the woman does not have a choice?
No, after she has an option. An option
to
is
live and start
I'm ready to leave all this and start my life.
But what if the guy goes after her? Like, maybe she's afraid that the man might want to hurt her if
No. As long as she's willing to leave that. What is really tying her is what she's getting from the man.
Yeah. Because nothing says that the man is violent. What we see.
Even if the man is violent, if I can give you the car key, the house, the shop, and say, oh God, thank you. I'm not taking
anything from you.
Take and go. I'll go and start a job.
Worst case scenario, you take it out.
No. If she takes that option, the man has no hold on her.
Okay.
But what will give the man a right to say, please now, let me still be staying in the house now.
And you
please
want to
now, let me still be using the car now.
And then you want
please,
to, you're not ready.
That one, she's not ready, because as long as you're still staying in his house that he bought for you or he's paying the rent, but the day you say, Oga, I appreciate you, your generosity for 7 years. Take everything, I'm walking away. I'm telling you the truth.
You would really have a hold on her. Okay, we're rounding off the show. I just want us to give our last words to her because she's asking for our advice. Just let's give her our candid advice, on the discussion so far. So let's have your last word for her.
I'll say that as a woman, never get to a point where you feel somebody has to control your life.
Exactly.
You always have a choice. So don't let somebody put you in a box and make you feel like you have to stay within these 3 options. Think outside of the box, like they say, and make up your mind. If married women think that, I have a choice in an abusive situation and everything, and they take a walk, you're not even in an abusive, do you understand what I mean? So always remember that you have that power of choice and use it, my darling. Use it, you'll be glad.
You'll be glad. Mr. Tunde, your final word for her.
My advice to her would be, if she was the first wife, we should be willing to have a second wife. So we need to put others in consideration as well. And even to be very honest, being a chick or aristo, like we call it, is it something we are proud of?
No.
can you tell Daddy, that's my aristo man. That's my sugar daddy. Though some family allows that, but it's not something we are proud of. So she made a mistake already, having somebody. She should be willing to correct the mistake and probably start a new life. Some men might be compassionate to allow her go with some of the benefits of the 7 years because she also invested emotionally into it. And then she should be willing to start afresh. She shouldn't go for any of those options.
So those options are no.
None of them will give her peace on the long run.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all for coming. Thank you so much. You've actually done so well.
Thank you
to this stuff.
Thank you for having me.
We have something for you. Oh, yes, we do.
A check of 1 million?
This is courtesy of Spicy with Phina. That's for you.
Thank you.
And then we have for Mr. Tunde as well.
Okay, thank you, Phina.
That's for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. We've come to the end of today's episode of Spicy with Phina. And if you're the writer of the story, you've heard what my guests have said. You don't have to settle for any of these options because you have your own life. Like Fumi said, you should not allow yourself to be boxed into a corner. You have the right of your own. You need to make your own choices. And Mr. Tunde also said you will not have peace when you choose any of these options. So please try and reconsider your stand. Even that consideration of going for the man's son is not a good option for you. For me, I also agree with them because you can never, ever get peace in that kind of setting. Go out there, find your life. I expected you to have been saving anyway. You should have savings. How can you say you're financially independent and you don't have some money set aside for yourself? If you have to leave the state where he is, do so. Go find your life. There are better ways to, accomplish that. Until I come your way again next time, interesting episode of Spicy with Phina. Please don't hesitate to follow us on all our social media handles at Spicy with Phina. Please, if you have stories and you'd like to come on the show, kindly call the numbers on your screen and also send your stories to spicywithphina@gmail.com. It has to be a beautiful moment. Every day of our life is worth living and living happily. And the only way you can live happily is dependent on the choices we make. Until I come your way again next week, I have to go now. Bye.
You'll be okay. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. You'll be fine. Spicy with Phina is a talk show that addresses life issues. Free to share with us.
You'll be okay.